How's it going, everybody? This is Rick Cantville with United Real Estate, Queen City office. And during the home buying process, one of the biggest aspects of that is the home inspection. So once you get your offer accepted, you go into your due diligence period, and then that's when you want to ascertain the condition of the property of the home. So because there's so many questions involved around that, today I am joined by Mr. TJ Thorne of Howdy Home Inspections. Excuse me. And he's going to answer a lot of these questions for us. So, TJ, my friend, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Man, it's a pleasure. Like I said, there is a lot of questions involved around the home inspection, but why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? How many years have you guys been in business here in Charlotte area?
Well, man, I first became an inspector in 2001.
Okay.
And then I started this company. We were living out in Oregon and moved back to North Carolina, I think 14 years ago when we had a kid. My wife was pregnant with our kid. So
Okay.
we moved back to North Carolina, and I think I started this company maybe 12, 13 years ago.
Okay. Well, fantastic. Well, we've used your company, pretty much exclusively, and you guys have always done a fantastic job for us. So I'm actually glad to have you on today. So
Yeah.
yeah. So what areas do you cover around Charlotte?
Well, I live in Ballantyne, but we go probably within maybe like 60, 65 miles of Charlotte. I mean, we go up to Statesville, and then we go all the way down to like Chester, South Carolina, and then out to Wingate, and then Gastonia, and we'll even go to Shelby.
Okay. Yeah,
So
we
scoot all over.
Yeah, we've had properties in Wingate, Gastonia, and you guys have been there for all of them. So
yeah, we did one yesterday in Mount Gilead. I don't even know where Mount Gilead is,
I'm
but
not sure
somehow or another
myself.
we ended up out there.
So as I was telling you, we actually sent this information out on Facebook saying that we're going to be recording this little video, and people were popping in with a couple of questions, and I'm gonna I had a couple myself that I was hoping you could answer for our audience here. So I'm just gonna kind of get cranking on a couple of questions, and maybe you can answer those for us. So what do you look for in just a basic home inspection?
Yeah. So what inspections are, what we're doing is we're checking all the major components of the home. So like the roofing, the structural, the plumbing, the electrical, heating and air system, insulation, ventilation, doors, windows, siding. So, I mean, it's kind of all encompassing. So when you get our report, it'll have all the big stuff like your AC's not working, all the way down to the doorknob in the bedroom closet's loose. So it's sort of a mixed bag of what you're going to get, but we're kind of checking. I mean, I don't want to say we're checking everything, but we're checking a lot of stuff, including those major systems of the home.
Right. And just from experience, I know you guys are doing, if the home has a crawl space, you guys are down there checking, all the stuff in the crawl, the moisture levels, all that kind of stuff down there, right?
Yeah, that's where the money's at. When you got problems, the crawl space and the termites have eaten everything up, and you got moisture problems, and so they get nasty. So the crawl spaces is a huge aspect of the structural, of the plumbing, of moisture control and foundation, like all of that. Crawl space is the biggest part of the inspection.
Yeah, no. When I meet your team out at the home, is just the kind of the last thing they like to do, but they're very thorough in it, man.
Man, you gotta. It takes a couple hours to get psyched up for those things. That's why we do it last.
That's right. So, how long does it normally take to do a home inspection?
Man, it just depends on the size of the house, and if it's a concrete slab or if it's sitting on a crawl space. We give ourselves 3 hours. Now, if it's some monster house that's 8,000 square feet, That's going to take a lot longer. But typical inspection is anywhere between around 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, let's
Okay.
say. And
Okay.
some people like Daniel. Well,
Yeah.
Daniel's friggin' unreal. He's amazing, but he's also younger than me and he's smarter than me with like technology. So man, he's flying. But he's not flying because he's missing something. He's flying because
It's
he's
like
really good and he's really
good.
good with
Yeah.
the technology. And I'm kind of like I'm living in the 90s, so we got these, we got these work phones and it slows me down. So something that might take me, 2.5 hours, Daniel might take an hour and 45 minutes. Um, and the reports will be exactly the same. His might even be a little bit better than mine, but he's just better at the technology than me.
Right. Yeah. I met Daniel out there a good number of times. He's actually a super nice guy too. So
Yeah.
very thorough. So another question: what additional things do you inspect other than the things in the home, the foundation, the roof, that kind of thing? What additional things could you add on to a basic home report?
So pretty much all inspections, unless it's a new build or unless it's a condo, pretty much everybody down here in the South gets a termite inspection.
Okay.
And then on top of that, about a third of our customers test for radon gas.
Right on.
And then we do offer other inspections, like we do a lot of air quality testing and mold swab testing. We go in a crawl space and we see mold on a floor joist, and if somebody's worried about it, we take a swab sample of it, send it to the lab. Or if somebody is just worried about general, mold, different types of molds in their house, we can actually take samples of air from the house. We hook a pump up to like a canister and it sucks air in from the house.
Right.
And we send that off to the lab and it'll tell us every type of mold that is found and in what quantity in the house. So maybe you got mold in your air ducts that you can't even see. Well, an air quality test is going to pick that up for you.
Okay. So you mentioned a radon test. When is it a good idea to order a radon test, and what's the importance of a radon test?
So radon, for the folks watching that don't know what it is, radon's a carcinogenic gas. It's a leading cause of lung cancer outside of smoking, right? And we're considered a mid-level area here. Now, if you go up to Boone or Asheville, they're like really high levels of radon. But the EPA says in our area, about 1 out of 5 houses have elevated levels. Now, I don't think it's 1 out of. That's just what they say. I don't. I think they're trying to sell radon tests for it.
Right.
But yeah. But at any rate, so radon is coming out of the ground, right? And so it comes out of the ground, it gets trapped in your house, you're breathing in that radon, and it's just over the long term, it's a health hazard.
Right.
And so what we do is we set up a test. It's all regulated by the EPA on where you set the test up, how long the test runs for. We do that in the house. It's a 48-hour test. It takes 48 different readings, radon readings, and then we average them all together to come up with an average EPA radon level. And we compare that to what the EPA has as sort of their threshold.
Right.
That level where if you're below it, you're kind of safe,
Yeah.
and if you're above it, it needs to be mitigated. So that's sort of what we're doing when we're testing the levels.
Right. Isn't it like 4?
Yep, 4 picocurries per liter.
That's yep. Yeah, we've had that done a number, and thankfully they've all been fine on the ones that we've ordered. But I know some people.
And then sort of what I tend to recommend to folks is I'm not into selling and I'm not into talking to people. I mean, I just want people to do their own thing, like do what they want to do. But my experience with it is radon's coming up out of the ground. So the closer you are to the ground, the higher your levels are going to be, right? So basement houses tend to have the highest levels, and then slabs would be the next, and then crawl spaces would be the lowest levels of radon. All things equal. And so I'm not really pushing it on crawl spaces, but if somebody's got a basement, I mean, I'm not going to push it, but I'm going to tell them
It's probably not a bad idea.
probably worth it, you know?
Right. Yeah. And the reason that it's not as bad when you have a crawl space is because you have air circulation down there that kind of mitigates a lot of the radon.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of it's able to escape out of those crawl space vents with that cross ventilation.
Right. Well, there you go. All right, let's get on to the next question. So, one of our Facebook users wanted to know how much does an inspection cost,
Yeah.
and what determines the cost of the inspection.
Yeah. So the two things that determine the cost are the size and the age. So they start at $450.
Mhm.
And then the larger it gets, it kind of goes up in $25 increments. And then anything over 25 years or 50 years or 75 or 100 years, that sort of bumps the price up a little bit.
Right.
So if you get a 2,000 square foot house that's 100 years old, it's going to be $100 more than just a 2,000 square foot new construction house.
Right. Okay. Just a question again for the people that are watching. So imagine you're in a home and I know you guys are up in the attic and you notice there's some stains or something from water intrusion up in the attic. What do you guys normally recommend be done?
You mean like on the roof decking or on the
Like
like
inside the attic, like where the roof is. Yeah.
Yeah, so well, we try to figure out where that roof leak's coming from. Sometimes if it's down towards the fascia board, it could be something as easy as the gutters are filled up with leaves and the water's kind of overflowing back behind the gutters. The place where you see the leaks most often are around the plumbing boots. So every attic, every house that has indoor plumbing has these pipes that stick out of the roof.
Mhm.
And that just allows the plumbing system to vent properly.
Right.
So toilets can drain and sinks can drain and that sort of thing. Well, when you run that pipe out of the roof, you got a big hole in your roof. So
Right.
what they do is they put a rubber boot over that vent, over that pipe, and that rubber boot keeps the water from coming in through that hole. It keeps it nice and tight. Keeps keeps the roof from leaking. Well, the problem is you got a roof that's 30-year roof. Now you put a little rubber boot on there that might only last you 15 years. That rubber just degrades with all the heat and the sun. And so they only last about 15 years. And usually they get little holes in them that crack and dry rot. And the roof starts leaking around those plumbing boots.
Yes.
So we're sort of looking at the different roof leaks and we're able to kind of determine, why that roof is leaking just from the location of it.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So next question, did we, so should the buyer, did I ask this question? Should the buyer and the agent attend the inspection? And when should they show up?
So we, that's just kind of up to them.
Right.
Since COVID, everybody just quit coming since COVID. Most people don't come anymore. But if they do come, I'll never tell anybody don't come for the whole thing. Some people just want to be there for the whole thing.
Right.
But I prefer folks just to show up like final 30 minutes to kind of go over what we found. That way we can really, focus on our job and do a really good job. Sometimes if people are following us around, they're wanting to talk and, if you get busy talking, like we don't want to miss something. We want to do the best inspection we can do. So if we're there by ourselves, we can really focus on it. And it's not brain surgery what we're doing, but you do have to pay attention and things can get, complicated, but if you might miss stuff if you're busy chatting. So, but at the end of the day, it's whatever the buyer wants to do, whatever they feel most comfortable with.
Yeah. I think normally we get there about 30 minutes before the end of the inspection. And you guys have always been great about just recapping everything, pointing out any major issues, that kind of thing. So yeah, I got you. So one other question that we had from Facebook was how about new construction? I know, a lot of times it's a newly constructed home and you don't think that an inspection is all that important. So what's your thoughts on new construction inspections?
Man, new construction houses are houses too.
Right.
And they're built wrong. I mean, they get built wrong all the time. Or
Right.
if the worst job in the world, or maybe not the worst job, but the hardest job in the world is being one of those building superintendents. One of these
Mhm.
big builders, one of these big national builders puts a guy out in the neighborhood and gives him whatever 30 homes that he's supposed to build.
Mhm.
And he can't keep up with every single thing on
Right.
every single house that he's building. It's impossible. And the county dudes, they're inspecting 20, 30, 40 of these houses in a day. They're not going to catch everything either. So we're the only ones that go in there, and we're there 2 or 3 hours, and we're we're looking at every single aspect of that
Mhm.
house. And that's the only house that we're looking at. The superintendent's in there
Right.
all the time, but
Right.
he's got 30 of them to look at. So we go in these houses and we see roofs that are put on wrong. We see uh, broken trusses in the attic, or trusses that are missing, the metal gusset plates. We find cracks in foundations. We find heating and air systems that are hooked up wrong, or electrical panels that are hooked up wrong. So
Right.
we just find all sorts of I mean, we were in a house uh, we were in house just a couple of days ago where the microwave was vented outside, but it wasn't vented outside. They had it set up to recirculate, to just
Oh,
revent into the house, so that outdoor vent wasn't even functioning, and
right.
and they just put it in wrong. That's all it was. So little things like that, nobody would have caught that, but we
Right.
caught it.
Yeah. Well, uh, yeah, like I said, how new construction is there are homes too, and there's always something that is, that not may not be correct. But in my experience, the builder has always wanted a copy of the inspection report, and most of the time they fix just about everything on. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
builder.
Uh,
They want a copy of it, and they'll try to fix just about everything on there. At least that's the experience that I've had so far. It doesn't always happen that way, but
yeah.
honestly, that's one reason why I always recommend, whether it's new construction or not, at least get a home inspection done, because you might find a little quirk thing that needs to get repaired. So
Yeah.
yep. Um. So this was we had talked about this a little earlier, but we had the experience before. We were you guys did an inspection on a townhome, and there was a lot of unrelated things that were kind of minor, but the way that the home buyer was thinking about it, they were thinking that all these unrelated things were part of a major issue with the home.
Mhm.
And you guys did an excellent job of kind of walking through it and kind of talking them down off the roof about all these little things. But when you find things like that, so where do you guys uh, how do you guys determine what is like a major issue and what's something that's like, yeah, it's just not that big of a deal?
Yeah, so I think the perfect example, kind of what you're talking about, would be if you go outside on a home.
Hmm.
Every concrete slab house has a crack in the foundation. It's not, maybe not every one of them, but almost every one of them,
Right.
right? And so we find a teeny little hairline crack in the foundation.
Right.
Technically, that's a crack in the foundation, right? And then you go inside and you look at the wall. Well, when you hang sheetrock, you butt two pieces of sheetrock together, and then you use like a piece of corner bead, like a little metal L looking piece
Mhm.
that goes on that outside corner. Or if it's an inside corner, they tape it up with some sheetrock tape. Well, both the corner bead and the sheetrock tape will end up cracking about an inch from the wall. Well, we're putting all of this. We're putting the crack in the foundation.
Right.
We're putting the corner bead, we call it a crack, right? Because the corner
Right.
bead's cracked out from the sheetrock mud. Well, we put both of those in the report. Neither one of them are an issue, but when somebody pulls it up and they say, "Oh my gosh, I got cracking on that same wall where I see that crack.
Exactly.
We
Gotcha.
got a major foundation issue here.
Right.
And they call me and I'm like, no, it's just the corner bead. It's a sheetrock mud crack. And that's just a normal settlement crack. Like so now, with that being said, there are times where it will go in houses and we'll see horizontal cracks in the brick veneer, and there's some sort of differential settlement. And then you go on that side of the house and the doors won't shut because they've sunk down 3/4 of an inch. Like there are times where it's
Right.
where things do where they are related, but most of the time they're not, and we're just telling you about real
Yeah.
minor stuff.
Right.
And we're honest, like I have no skin in this game, and you obviously don't want somebody to buy a junk house, so you want to know what the truth is. I'm willing to give it because I
Right.
just want them to get a good house. I don't care what house they buy, just buy the one that they want.
Right.
So that's the good thing about us is call us and we'll walk you through it. Maybe it's a really big deal and we're going to tell you. And then if it's not a really big deal, we're going to say this really isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we like to.
Yeah, and like I say, in the past, like I always call after I get the inspection report because there's the client always has a question about something, and you guys have been great about
Yeah.
kind of talking them down off the ledge, I guess, lack of a better term.
Yeah.
So that's that. Is there? So I meant to ask you this one. So in your years of being an inspector, what's the craziest thing that you've seen while you're out doing an inspection?
Oh man. I've done houses. We do old houses. I mean, I've done houses where there are well, you know what piers are, those concrete
Oh,
block pillars that hold the house up. That's what
mhm.
everything's been built with since 1900, basically.
Good.
Now, we've been in houses where they don't have piers. They just got tree trunks, just
Oh my.
sitting on tree trunks. We've been in there where houses are sitting on, like, parts of the floor system are sitting on, big tire rims. And Daniel did a house. It was an old plantation house from before the pre-Civil War, and he said that the roof rafters in the attic were tree trunks. They were long as the roof rafters. And
Nice.
then, so we see all sorts of sweet stuff. We see raccoons and possums, dead raccoons. We see cats all the time. I read an article about a dude, an inspector in Montana that opened a crawl space, and a mountain lion ran out of that crawl
Oh my God.
space. And then in North Carolina, there was a guy last year out at the coast, an inspector, who was going up into the attic and found I don't know if it was an alligator or crocodile. They all look the same, but found one of them up in an attic.
That would be an issue.
Yeah, and that was, but now the attic was one of those attics you have to walk up. But it was
Right.
it was all over the home inspector stuff, and that was
Oh,
here in North Carolina. It might have been South Carolina, but it was our coast.
right. Oh man, that's amazing. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I'd quit if I ever saw like a rattlesnake or a crocodile. If I saw, I'd go open a taco truck. I'd be out of this business.
yeah, that's right. I'd go find something else to do.
Yeah, me too.
Well, TJ, that is all the questions that I got for you today. Man, I really do appreciate you spending a little time with us. I'm going to go ahead and put your contact information for
Okay.
Howdy Home Inspections down in the description. If anybody needs to get a hold of TJ, I highly recommend him. But if anybody's buying or selling homes here in the North Carolina area, I certainly will appreciate the call. I'll go ahead and leave my information down in the description as well. But TJ, thank you very much for spending some time with us. And
Yeah, thank you.
look forward to talking to you soon, my man.
All right, thanks, y'all.
You got it. We'll see you.
All
Yeah, we're all done, man.
right, thank you.